Hi everyone, welcome to the Nostalgic Dragon, where I talk about fantasy books, mythological books, and sometimes science fiction. Today, I would like to talk about fighting scenes and battle scenes, and there is a reason for that because I'm in the end of The Return of the Crimson Guard by Ian C. Esselmont, a Malasan novel. Other Malasan books by the other author, maybe more famous, Stephen Erickson, not always, but usually ends with a battle scene, fighting scene. No matter what, many fantasy books end with fighting scenes or have a lot of fighting scenes. So that made me curious on what makes good fighting scene. I know many of you are writing, so that made me very curious on how do you write fighting scenes. I can see different patterns writing fighting scenes. One thing that is very interesting with the Malasan Book of the Fallen is and the Malasan books is that you follow big armies, but you also follow the individuals in the armies. So you will get a um, zoom out when you see the army and zoom in when you see the individual, and that makes it very I think exciting to read, and you also get a sense of being in the battle scene. There is also descriptions on individual fights, and I listened to, I think it was Abercrombie, and maybe Erickson too, but they actually um, set up this fighting scene to see what happens. I mean, if a person is behind someone when he hits, how the person who hits reacts, how he moves his arms, how he position himself. So I think especially in Ian C. Esselmont's books, which I think are very, very good fighting scenes, some of the best out there, you can really feel the movement of the two or more persons fighting, how they jump, where they position, how the person reacts. So that is something very skillful, I think, to zoom in on the individual fighter or warrior and zoom out to see the whole army. Another thing that is, I think, common in fighting scenes is the atmosphere or the environment. It could be shouting, it could be sound effects, it can be the weather, or it could be magic. So in the Malasan books, it's common with people channeling power through warrens, a kind of magical source. And if we look at more common for me, maybe more people, is Lord of the Rings, the Battle of Helm's Deep, for example, where you both have sound effects, zoom in, zoom out, and you have the magic effect of magic in case of Gandalf, but you also have the effect of weather. It's rainy and it's not so pleasant in the Helm's Deep when they fight. So all this makes up for good action scenes, I suppose. You have zoom in, zoom out, you have sound effects, you have atmosphere. Um, there can be more things. I'm especially interested to hear from you who are writing and reading, of course, because maybe you write have good examples where you get your information from, but maybe you who read have some favorite battle scenes that you would like to tell me and the small community here about. Um, so that was a very short rant on battle scenes and fantasy. I was promising you a video this weekend. This is it. I will make one more video just after this. And the reason for that is that I'm trying to finish The Return of the Crimson Guard to be able to give you a review later this week. So give me your best thoughts on battle scenes. If you write, what are your writing advice? If you read, what are your best examples of fights, battle scenes? I'm curious to listen to you. Another battle scene or another book with great battle scenes is, of course, Dead House Gates. I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read the Malasan Book of the Fallen yet, but in there you have a lot of great battle scenes to enjoy and to read. Malice over there, I'm reading it right now. I'm 30% in. Empire of Silence up there. Science fiction, so it's something completely different. I've read that book. I'm reading the second book, Howling Dark. Not so much of battle scenes, but individual battle scenes, of course, because it's science fiction. I'm not sure if there is a science fiction book with these big battle scenes with armies. If you know some book that have that kind of description, why not tell me about it? So until next time, very soon actually, because I'm going to record a video after this. Have a nice evening, and thank you everyone who is watching. Bye.